back, which is going to reduce that damage by a ton. So you're not going to be able to insta-burst the Bristle here. Can play really nicely with what Boom has on hand. Physical damage output, Tusk is going to amp that up with Tag Team. Coil to hold them down to keep popping off those quilts, and eventually the Ags upgraded Nasal Goo as well in that AoE. So there is a lot of good synergy here for Boom. And Motivate.Trust have to find a solution for that Bristle. It looks like they're kind of caught off guard. None of their heroes really manage it well. I suppose Iron Shell is still nice, but again, once the back is turned, with a Hood of Defiance up in the Bristle back, it's not going to feel amazing for even the Darkseer. So, still need the answer here. I'm wondering if they're going to go for their last core, as we sometimes see, or if they're just going to hammer in the support pick. They go to Slark. So that's probably a mid Ricky. Fearless. I mean, I say that. I think mid Slark has popped up here and there. So there's a potential for mid Slark, but I think you just want the Slark versus Bristle matchup. You've got a natural Dispel to take care of at least the Nasal Goo. You can't Dispel off the stacks of Quilts. And of course, it's one of those matchups where it's a tanky hero, that Bristleback. Slark will just build up his Agi hits every single time, so he's going to feel good about that. And it's one way to handle Bristleback. Of course, you can also build Silver Edge on the Slark. We don't tend to see it too often, but that possibility for a break is there now for Motivate.Trust.
Absolutely. Couple banouts to go before we do see the final pickups. See what they can get going here. Motivate. Just getting rid of those pos ones for now. They get rid of the Bloodseeker just in case you wanted to switch things up a little bit. Maybe run the Bristle safe lane and the off lane Blood, or you could run the safe lane Blood if you really wanted. Plus, up against the Slark, Ricky, you definitely don't want to be against the Bloodseeker. He can just see everything with that Thirst, and it can make it very, very hard to play into and Motivate. Four seconds reserve time. They'll get rid of the PL. Just kind of respect bamming Dreamer Soul's PL, which, I mean, quite frankly, Dreamer Soul, he had no problems last game. He just farmed, just got the farm up, went into his Octarine and his Shard build-up, and then eventually just kind of took over. They just don't want to have to deal with that this game, and I think that's quite fair, because if you've got Ricky Slark, not much you can do about those illusions. Later on, it would be a pretty big problem had they gotten the PL. Boom. One ban out for them, John. Focusing on those Q heroes. They seem to believe it's going to be a POS 5 Snapfire this game.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, you still need something a bit more active with the Darkseer. You do have the option for Clockwork. It could still tie in here. The Clockwork, and there it is. Clockwork Darkseer combo. Run you down. It's something we've seen a couple of times now. Again, it's just a classic combo. Battery Assault up with the Iron Shell. You can dive tier 1s really easy. Make life living hell for Dreamocell. And Boom's going to have to consider that in the lane out. They see the full hand of Motivate.Trust. The only thing that they might be questioning is Slark and Ricky, but that should just be straight up Slark for Jackie. Fearless Honda Ricky shouldn't be bothered by that too much. Not much reserve time left. Both teams really thought hard about this as they close out with a Morphling, which is interesting from Boom. The silence from the Ricky is going to be annoying early on, especially if you don't manage to get your Agi morphed on fast enough. It can be painful for Mikato there. But there's some good stuff going on here as well. I think Morphling Ags with Bristleback is really good. I don't think we see that too often, though. But if you do get the Ags, and then your Bristleback has Ags as well, imagine all the goo flying out, all the quilts flying out. That is not fun for any hero in Motivate.Trust. So Mikado has that option if he doesn't want to go for the typical shotgun E-Blade SNY build. He can definitely opt for more of that Ags build up, and just having 2 tanks up front, it's going to be hard for Motivate.Trust to manage that one.
Okay. So you think that Boom came out with the better draft here, John? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, I think they kind of drew it out a bit more. Like, Bristleback against Slark is awkward for Bristle because Slark just builds up Essence Shift, but Bristleback against a Ricky is pretty nice. The silence is annoying, but your back will always protect you because of Tricks of the Trade working on the back. The Morphling is really the wild card here for Boom. If Mikato gets shut down in lane by the Clockwork Darkseer combo, it will be a bit tricky to recover with. Actually, no, we didn't even mention this. Mikado and a Morph, so it's a mid and FBZ's on the off lane puck. Morphling versus Ricky, he's avoiding the Darkseer lane. That's going to go to Dreamusel. And for Dreamusel, that's a manageable lane. It's still annoying, it's still a lot of damage, but you turn your back, you get level 3, go 0-2-1, fine. And you just maybe go 0-3-2 at level 5, you can manage the damage output. So it's looking pretty great from Boom. They flex it around. They had that capability on hand. Mikado just needs to work that mid lane against a Ricky. That could be a bit annoying, but it's not too bad, I reckon. Like, you have good mobility, you can just shift around, you don't tend to see smoke screen early on. So the silence is not really going to be a threat in that laning phase here.
All right, let's see how it goes, John. Game number 3 between Motivate.Trust Gaming and, of course, the Boom Esports boys. See if they can get it done. Of course, winner of this, again, going to the grand final of the Pro Series. The Loopbet Pro Series Season 6, of course. See which one can pull it off. And if I'm completely honest, John, I was kind of leaning towards the Boom draft myself. It could go either way for sure, but it's the Slark that bothers me. Yeah, I haven't seen Jackie pay the Slark in a long time. The hero just doesn't feel good right now, in my opinion. I just don't have faith in this hero in comparison to, say, the Morphling.
Yeah, it's been off meta for good reason. It took some hits. Early levels of Essence Shift feel really wonky. The talent kind of makes up for it, though. But that's all the way at 25, so it's a bit awkward. I think big one is really just how Boom has worked out their lanes. Like, they take away the Bristle versus Slark lane, so your Slark's not getting that early advantage, and now you're going to have to kind of try and deal with a Bristleback elsewhere. And again, Darkseer versus Clock, Darkseer and Clock versus Bristle isn't too bad for Bristle. He doesn't mind that at all. Just spam the Cold Spray while they're chasing you down. It could work against them if they don't burst you fast enough. And by level 2, with the value point in Bristleback, the damage is going to be a bit slower, so there's more time to get those sprays off.
Oh, this bot river, they have caught out the Clockwork. Q gets the cookie onto the high ground, gets the cogs off as well, but it's not going to push back Kescute. It will now. Masteros is going to try and help out, and the cogs, it does end up paying off. They get Q out of there, but now Masteros is going to take quite a bit of damage on this Darkseer. Kescute, he'll get a couple more clicks in before he does allow Masteros to go, but definitely does feel like a bit of a better start here for Boom Esports as they do force back Q. Make him TP back into the lane. And whose flag is that? Is that Boom Esports again?
Oh, yes. That's their guild. I forget whose picture it is. I remember them mentioning it's a friend from their school or something. I love that flag. It's a silly one, but poor fella, you know, being shown to a lot of viewers. Still, the lane, again, for Dreamusel should hold steady. They already managed to push back Q. They're playing with the Iron Shell plus Cogs, so they can isolate, but you have to be careful about overcommitting. Dreamusel's got 2 Mangoes in the pool. He can keep spamming out Quilt Spray. Your 2 melee heroes against Bristle. You'll always be in range for those Quilt stacks, and once it piles onto 3 stacks, it's going to be really painful in this lane.
Certainly so. Of course, John, I didn't go over this with you, but I checked the Loopbet odds just before the game really got underway, and Boom Esports were the favorites by exactly 3 cents, John. That's how close it is right now between these two. 3 cents. Incredible.
Yeah, it's been really tight. I think I've been seeing the odds shift. The game 2 was like 1.77 to 1.99, and it's just been shifting down. So it's been looking really tight from both teams. Very close matchup.
Oh, very nice. Boom Esports securing first blood there for Dreamusel. They just kind of ran Q down. It's something I haven't talked about yet, but Q's going to have a very rough time. Like, you can destroy the Lion in lane, but the problem is while Dreamusel's around on the Bristleback, there's nothing he can do. He can pull the creep wave for Masteros, but that's about it.
It's a hard lane. It's dual melee against Bristle. Unless you absolutely isolate Kescute, there's no way. Like, Kescute can just stick by his line, soak XP, with a protection of the Bristle background and threat of Quilts. You don't have an angle to kind of deal with Kescute. And you're at level 2 for Dreamusel. Bristleback is up. Once he hits level 3, going 0-3-1, that's when it can get really dicey. for that aggression. So this is ending up being more passive for Motivate. They're going to have to find a way to just have to wave out and get some farm.
Top lane, Hyde, he's been caught on the tusk. He's going to drop, but Jackie is extremely low. He will give his life over to FBZ. He had no way out anyway. Looks like he just wanted the free reset. So a 1-for-1 trade at that top lane. You did get the golden XP the way of Motivate before Jackie dies, but in the end, FBZ does secure the Riki kill, so I think you're not going to be too upset in the end about that.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, because you lost your support first, FBZ gets more EXP from the Jackie kill, whereas Jackie had to share that, support kill with Leonak in terms of EXP gain. So FBZ is doing a great job. The lane for Jackie is going all right. Like, it's drawing relatively even with FBZ, and they're just not really able to be as aggressive as you'd want with a Snapfire. They've got level 2 Little Shredder, a lot of minus armor in play, Cookie to set up with a Pounce, but they can't really lock in a puck long enough to really kill her off. And there's always the snowball save from Hyde. So again, it's one of those aggressive lane combos that aren't quite kicking off yet for Motivate.Trust, and they're gonna have to really be cautious because Boom, they're confident enough to really dive deep.
But they are. Hyde. A lot of damage from Leonak. Jackie's gonna try and catch him out here with the Pounce. Couldn't quite get in range for it. Sent back onto FBZ they go. So I feel like we haven't even mentioned the mid lane either, John. Fearless and Makoto up against each other in the Morph Riki. Definitely very favored towards Makoto. So it's not a very easy lane for the Riki to try and contest. And while he may not die, Makoto is going to be able to freely CS and deny as much as he wants. Fearless really just can't do anything about it on this hero.
No, it's a tricky one, right? He can at least Blink Strike to secure CS, but Mikado can threaten with his Adaptive Strike for damage. He's copying some tower hits, though.
In the meantime, FBZ does end up dropping at the top lane. Jackie able to secure the kill.
Thanks for that.
It's a nice pick up there from our Slark. But back to the mid lane, Makoto, he's still just by the tier 1 tower. He just doesn't care.
He keeps shoving it in. Fearless is really having to play safe, and this is one of those things for those mid matchups, right? Like, Riki is not a bottle carrier, so you lose out in that regen game here.
Double Iron Shoals out. Kesku does drop. Dreamer's Soul getting quite low. Jackie, meanwhile, gets high at the top lane, and now FBZ gets Leonak. And I keep missing every kill, apparently, as they keep happening across the map. But Jackie's going to keep going onto FBZ. FBZ, he does have the orb up now, so he should remain relatively safe. Maybe not now that he's used it, but he does jaunt away. He'll be alright.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. I think overall you're starting to get happy here on Motivate. You're getting kills on your cores. You're punishing some of these supports. Hyde is off to a bit of a slower start from a couple of those deaths. For Boom, though, it's a really free mid. And I think the biggest hurting point is Fearless's progression. No boots up yet, has one Wraith Band, even being camped by Hyde. The mid lane's just going to be pressured in. Mikado has some really good right-click damage to pressure. And mid tier 1, he has a siege creep as well. And Kesku's
Fearless. Yeah, he's getting caught out. This is very smart from Boom. They are going to be very dependent on Fearless being able to set a tempo on this Riki, and now Jackie's forced to rotate along with Masaros. They are going for a full-scale team fight. They might even find Makoto here, but the cookie, it doesn't land. Makoto, he's going to try and run. The strength morphing there, but he's getting very low in HP, and he does go down. A very strange rotation, to say the least, from MTG, but it does work out very favorably.
Yeah, it's a big rotation out to stop the Morphling, but it was an important kill to find. They were having too much of a free lane down mid, and Mikado was just overtaking way too much. They get some punishment off, not in time to save a Riki. So in the end, you're still slowing down on Fearless. You're giving a free lane out to Dreamocell. This Bristleback's going to be a massive issue. Level 6 is up. 1-3-1-1 build is up. Vanguard is only about... Well, it's actually ready to go as soon as he buys that Vit booster. So your damage output on the Bristle isn't going to be great. And even if you put a lid on that Morphling, you haven't really stopped the Bristle. And there's only so many heroes Motivate.Trust can rotate around. It's starting to clump up on FBZ, though.
FBZ, he's going to be alright. He'll orb away. The tier 1 tower, look at the damage Makoto's done. That tier 1, not going to last very long whatsoever. It's gone. That's extremely bad news for Motivate now. The map is just so open, the side of Boom, and you've got to argue Motivate with their own draft. They are pretty greedy for the first 20 minutes of the game. And you were kind of bringing this up with the whole Diffusal Blade build up on Fearless. And of course you've got Jackie on the Slark, who's also going to need some kind of core item to be able to fight in the mid game. But now with that mid tower gone, the space is going to be a lot smaller for MTG. We'll see if Boom can apply the pressure to not allow that farm to occur. As now Dreamer Cell, he's going to have to try and fight this one out by himself, but he's not going to be able to get it done. The double iron shells from MTG proving to be way too powerful. While the Quill Spray was stacking up, it just is not enough.
Yeah, it was the fact that he went for, Hood of Defiance helps against those iron shells, but without the Vanguard, once Leonak comes in with some minus armor with a little shredder, you melt. You have to be a bit cautious about diving too deep. That is a lot of space though. Forces heroes down bot, they're lining up top to shove it in, force Jackie to that jungle really early on. And for that early game item you mentioned for Jackie, he is working towards the Echo Saber. So this should allow him to perhaps go into the Silver Edge. No, it doesn't build in, but it's still really good to get initial hits off. The slow is great, the stats are great. Issue is, he's going to have to farm it, and they're just giving their top lane for free because of those TPs down bot. So it's more objectives for Boom, and more opportunities for them to get the control off and lock in that top jungle.
BZ, take out the top tier 1, bottom, hookshot is there, Q again wanting to go on Dreamer Soul, and this time they even have the kisses to come in, vacuum out, but they are going to lose Q, and Dreamer Soul, he's still alive, he's not going to drop Masaros, he will go down first. Oh, and he asked the question, John, he asked the question. How unfortunate for the side of Motivate.Trust.
Yeah, it's a rough one right now. They really can't commit on a bristleback like that. Like, they keep trying, it's not working out, and you're losing your darks here. Masaros needs some item progression as well. It's just so greedy. He's trying to rush the Ags for that plus 300 HP on the Iron Shell shield, along with 2 charges of it, so you can save like 2 heroes at once. But it's a long way off, and that means you're not really going to be doing too much for your team. You don't have aura items, no early mech, no way of sustaining these early fights. Your top jungle's invaded by Mikado. He's kind of playing on the forward part of it. Still building up farm on this Morphling. Looks like he should have one of his first early items up soon. And as this game slows down, it actually favors Boom a lot more. It's really not Motivate.Trust's favor. They've got farm-heavy heroes, but they've got early spikes on those farm-heavy heroes. So you don't want to stall this one out too long. Maybe once you have that Diffusal and Fearless, you can look to really force fights. You drain the mana away from Bristle, it feels very bad for Dream Assault without casting spells. So that's one way they could get control out, but we've got to wait for it, and it's still a ways off for Fearless.
That it is, John. Very, very tough time here for MGT. 2k net worth lead for Boom Esports. Things going very well. It's bottom lane, FBZ. Oh, he's going to go for the Dream Coil. Back in onto Jackie, who was getting very aggressive, but he'll get the Shadow Dance off. Hyde just going to try and back off. A lot of vision with that Rocket Flare, but they've got more help coming in. Makoto and the Shard's going to block Jackie in. He's going to walk the long way around, but the finger is out from Kescue. And Hyde, he just gets the shards out before he dies to Leonak, and it does cost Jackie his life, as now Q has been caught at the clockwork, and he's also gone. Makoto with the double.
Double kill.
God, you've got to love Hyde. Just so much impact on that past 4 Tusk.
Yeah, he just sets up for his team. Even when he's dead, he enables his team to find these kills. And now, you have a lot going on for Boom. Vanguard done on FBZ while he was AFK down mid. So Vanguard Hood of Defiance spike is there into the Eternal Shroud. That's going to fix some of those mana issues that will happen down the line. Mikado Dragonlance up. He's got extra strength to play with, extra range to get his hits off. And the Agis, of course, always nice in terms of buffing up your attack. So you have a lot that you can do now on Boom's end. Whereas for Motivate.Trust, it's still slowing the game down, getting farm up, believing in your Slark Ricky to carry you through. I just worry about how their team fights break out. Like, the control is still severely lacking, especially once a couple of force staffs come out from Boom. The silence from the Ricky and the Cogs won't be enough to lock people in, even with your vac wall combo.
Just brought up the Loop.Odds John. Boom Esports sitting at the heavy favorites right now in comparison to Motivate.Trust, about 3-1 odds. Motivate certainly looking like they're in a very difficult position. Now Jackie, he's already very low, John. They've smoked up. FBZ, he's going to run right into him. This is so unfortunate. Jackie, he gets dream coiled. The orb is out. It's not quite enough, but they hit the earth spike, and he's got nowhere to go but down. Just give him the uppercut from Hyde. And this is... It all goes back to that mid-tier 1 tower dropping. And Boom can just freely walk into the dire jungle, and there's nothing Motivate can do about it.
Yeah, they're really not set up for any of these fights. Look at the build-up on Masaros. He doesn't even opt for wall. He knows he can't really do much. There's no real follow-up for the vac wall other than Cogs. And it just means that they have to just play it slow. Try to farm up as much as they can, but it's not very easy when you've got these fat heroes from Boom just running you down right now.
No, it certainly isn't, John. It certainly is not. Leonak, he does buy out some smokes. They might have to try and start making those rotations over against Boom, because you are still up against Puck, Bristle, Morph, and it does feel like they are just going to be way too powerful later on in the game. Mikoto just maintaining a high net worth on that Morph link, mostly followed by FBZ on the Bristle.
Dire's middle tower is
They're going to take their time. They'll get back to farming. No need to overextend.
There it goes.
I think they can just remain very confident in their own draft. Because again, you look at the Slark Ricky, it's just not going to transition as well. It's very hard to see it.
It's a long way away from it. The Diffusal is up for Fearless at the least, so he can burn the mana of our Bristle. Could be one way, but... oh,
Shot,
hook.
very nice from Q. That'll maybe get FBZ here. FBZ, he's going to get the Dream Call off in time, but he is down. Can they get some trades going? They'll go onto Q, they'll get the clockwork, but they want more than that. Mikoto, he'll rush forward with a haste rune, but he won't find anyone. Definitely a much more positive trade for Motivate.Trust this time around. Boom. Well, they got a kill, but it looks like they're going to try and at least pressure the top tier 2 tower. Get something out of this. Will allow Motivate.Trust to have a bit more space now to try and get their own farm back up.
Yeah, they definitely just needed some relief from the pressure. With a puck down, well, just for a while, it does give them some space on the mid and bot lanes to build up. But the top lane is definitely going to be committed. They are rotating for a team fight, though. They've got Wall leveled up in Masaros, but he's not around. So they'll have to be a bit cautious. No kisses to fly through. That's pretty much their main source of magic damage.
Healers, he's in. Diffusal laid out. They've got the tusk. They'll get the tusk. Hyde gone. MTG again, just kind of poking and prodding here. Gonna back out again. I guess it's what you do. Just keep finding those single pickoffs. Wait for Boom to make a mistake. Every time they do, you can try to capitalize on it if you are Motivate. It's about all they can do.
Yeah, they managed to get a push going from Masaro's bot. All that time he spent does lead to a tower. So it's a good gold injection here for Motivate.Trust. They can play around the bot jungle just a little bit more to get their farm going. The Ags for the Darkseer is not too far off, but Boom, in that kind of movement across the map, knowing the bot jungle is not safe, they just go straight into the Roche pit. And with all the nasal goo, with the damage output of Mikado, and with a tag team from Hyde, this does not take too long. They know what's happening, though. Hookshot is up here as well.
Oh, Hookshot is in. Quizzes are going to be expended, but a great snowball out from Hyde. Going to save the day as Mikoto will go right back in onto Q. He'll get pushed back again. Meanwhile, Fearless, he got FBZ, so maybe now Motivate. They might be able to fight, but Q does drop on the clockwork. So 1 for 1, but you've lost that core puck. That's going to stop the Roshan from being completed.
That's for me.
Jackie's having to think about this, and he's going to run in. No, he won't commit. Maybe he will. Dreamer Cell. He's going to be just a back off here for Jackie. Roshan's just so low on HP, neither team's going to want to leave it like this. You can actually see Dreamer, he was trying to get it down with the cool spray stacks, but ultimately he's going to leave it behind. And Jackie going to get caught out by Hyde. A nice wall response to set up. Shards are out as well. Jackie, he can't pounce out yet, but he doesn't need to. They'll kill off Hyde. He's going to buy back. Now the team fight starts. A great stun out. Ooh. Jackie, he's going to go down to Makoto. The back wall's out, but doesn't really matter. Not quite. Some very bad news for Motivate, as they do have to buy back on Jackie. They understand they can't really allow this Roshan to go down to Boom. They are unwilling to let it go. But how much are they willing to give up for it?
They're going to have to be ready to run a risk with Jackie. He bought back. Something needs to happen here. Boom's being a lot more cautious. They're just standing outside the pit playing the scans. Don't quite have a smoke. They don't have burst damage with Finger as well. So it could go a bit awkwardly. All the spells of Motivate are back up. Hooks ready. Pistis are ready. Leonak's in a really good spot to contest and stop the initiation from Boom here.
Gillis. Trying to farm up a bit. Makoto gonna spot him out. Makoto getting very close now to that shotgun on the Morphling, and that's gonna cause even more issues for Motivate. He's just a few camps away. Jackie's still trying to get that Diffusal Blade up on the Slark, and you do have one on Fearless, but I feel like they need a secondary one just for that added control. It's like, Boom, they'll take the time to back off. Both teams are going to leave Roshan for now. They'll still hang around the area, but that's about it. Neither one's going to commit. And in some way, it still does favor Boom, because they can just keep the farm up. Again, they know they have the better draft for the late game. The longer this game goes on, the stronger they get. No real need to rush the Roshan if they don't have to.
Yeah, there's no pressure there. I mean, Motivate.Trust already overcommit for a potential Roche fight, so just make that not worthwhile by not forcing a fight. And Motivate.Trust just sit there, you know, twiddling with her fingers, figuring out what to do. You have some big items up. E-Blade up, Lion Blink is already ready as well here. And they've got a lot of angles to approach now, and Boom, really big smoke reveal here.
Yeah, Q, he's been caught. You don't really want to lose a clockwork like this, but nobody finished him off. The waveform forward, Makoto, he'll go back.
That's the classic, cool guys don't look at explosions, but the trigger didn't go off yet.
But now Boom, with the clockwork down, they know they can go for the Roshan. You don't have Hookshot, you don't have Rocket Flare to scout this out. It's a very hard fight for Motivate to take. In fact, they're going to try, but Fearless, he has been caught out on the Ricky. Now it's even worse. Back into the Roshan, Boom go. And this is definitely their Roshan to take.
Yeah, this is nasty. It just melts so fast with the goo up. Mikado's right-click damage just so darn high that it just doesn't stay up for too long. Now you've got the blink up on Hyde flying through. Both supports already having blinks at 21 minutes in. That's really big. Compare that to the progression here from Motivate.Trust. You have Spirit Vessel on Q. You have the Ag Shard on Leonak, and that's pretty much it. Not as much instantaneous control just by nature of the draft. They need to keep playing that pick-off game, maybe isolate out the puck. But even holding down FBZ is a bit tough. Like, with the 4-staff up, the smokescreen silence, he can just get out of it and just get himself to safety real quick.
D2 top tower. Gonna be under siege now. Again, Motivate.Trust gonna have a very difficult time trying to defend this one. They aren't even gonna try. They'll just let it go down. Mid lane, they were trying to get a push going here, Motivate, but Dreamersaw, he's going to be there to defend. In fact, Dreamersaw's almost got the Hagen Scepter up, and that's going to make life that much more difficult for Motivate. You really don't have the answers right now with this draft, I don't think. I can't really see at which point Motivate's going to be able to turn this game around either. It's just very, very hard.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, maybe once you get, say, a Silver Edge and Jack, it doesn't feel like a priority. It feels like they're going to need additional sources of control first. Maybe a Basher takes priority over a Silver Edge here, just so that they can stun lock someone. Because their disables are just not good. It's Cookie, which is nice but not reliable. Pounce, which you can Force Staff out of for the most part. And Battery Assault, which is like subpar at this point. And they're just dropping these tier 2s. Boom for their part. FBZ is getting ready to defend the bot. They're still applying pressure on the mid. Motivate.Trust might overcommit for FBZ though.
They could. They've caught him out. He's going to try and be sneaky. A nice phase shift. Going to avoid the hook shot, and now here comes Makoto. Jackie, he is already dead. Onto Fearless. There goes your Ricky. It's not even close. It's just not even close right now. They found the snap by. The Hex is out from Kescute. They'll get another. Why the hell not?
Killing spree.
God, I love that line. Mid lane.
Yeah.
Dreamer Cell, he's not done, John. He's going for more. Q, he's going to be searched away. Vacuum just to make sure Dreamer Cell cannot keep going. And boom, they'll just take over the triangle.
Yep. And they've got the bot tier 1. They can pressure the last outer tower of Motivate.Trust. Even in the high ground, Motivate.Trust's lineup isn't amazing. Maybe if you get a big cogs with a big vac wall, yeah, it could make something happen with the kisses flying through. But you're just not farmed enough on your Ricky and on your Slark. You're way too far behind compared to every other core on Boom. And now the Ags is up on Dreamo Cell, spamming out those nasal goo. Mikado's got a BKB, you can't hold him down. It's just tough. If they can maybe kill off the supports, like say kill off the Lion and Tusk, not just one, both of them, you could maybe play from there. Isolate the puck afterwards, hold down the Morphling somehow, and try to clean up. But that is just not something I see happening on Boom. They have been very disciplined. Their positioning, very disciplined with their initiation as well.
Caught out for a second, but very quick strength morphing there. In fact, now Leonak, he's been caught out, but the hook shot is there from Q. They'll drop the wall as well. They're dropping everything, but nothing's working. Makoto standing his ground. He'll just keep going for the fight. Q's going to get blown up by the shotgun. Jackie, he's going to try and have a go at this. It's really just an empty threat. He can chase as much as he wants. It's a 4v4, I understand, but it just doesn't seem like an easy fight. Still Makoto, he's going to go in with Fearless, who's trying to chase him down, but he's just not dying. The Morphling's way too far ahead. The Ricky about to drop. Fearless still alive somehow. They will continue this fight. Dreamer Cell now backing off because they got the Aegis. Onto Makoto. Smoke screen out. Maybe they can get him. They vacuum him back into that smoke screen, and Makoto, he was left alone. Nobody around to help him out. Motivate, they punish the side of Boom Esports for going high ground. And you know what? If that happens a couple more times, I suppose we might find a way for Motivate to come back into this game number 3.
That is a big mistake from Boom, though. They completely misplayed that. BKB was popped in the first life for Mikato. Instead of waiting for the Aegis to pop first, he popped it at low HP, ran back in when the rest of his team was set to run out. And then the second life comes through. He has no spell immunity. He gets controlled up. Bit of a misplay. Not the way you want to use those items up. And Motivate.Trust, they find some pretty nice kills. They're going to be able to hold on to the high ground. They still need to find some answers here. I don't think Boom loses too much in that engagement just yet. It's a good gold injection for Jack and Fearless for sure. Not quite enough to turn the tides in their favor yet. So, needs more to happen. And Boom needs to tighten up their game. That was definitely them just being out of position. FBZ dying before the fight even breaks out. They didn't have Dream Coil to play with. They didn't have their silence up. Just made it super awkward. They have to be much more careful about where the puck gets caught out, because we've seen FBZ drop a couple of times. In some of those fights, they do need that Dream Coil up.
But they do. MTG not out of it yet. Looking to go back in. Jackie's working towards his BKB now, and that should allow him to more freely be able to get those hits off in the team fights. You won't have to worry about all the disables that are being thrown out. The Makoto is just so much further ahead, though. Just about 5k gold ahead, in fact. That S&Y next to the Morphling. Boom.
That's for me.
I suppose without the Aegis now, I'm probably going to wait around for the next Roshan attempt. They still control the maps. There's no rush. In fact, FBZ now has caught out Leonak. Gonna be a dead Snapfire. Nice catch out there by FBZ.
Yeah, just an easy pick-off to relieve some pressure, take away some of the team fight Motivate.Trust could look to apply. And just forces them in an awkward spot. Respawn's not too long, though. This does open up the map a bit more for Boom to go into that jungle, build up into that S&Y you mentioned, clear out some camps for Dreamosel. Once you have this BKB on the Bristle, I think you feel a lot better. Because right now, it's only really Mikoto who can stand in front with spell immunity. Having the backup of the Bristle be, you know, completely confident in not being controlled can help them out. For the side of Motivate, Jackie's BKB is just one part away, missing the recipe. And you already have it running on Fearless. So you have some answers. You need more, but it's sort of starting to farm up. If they could stall for maybe 10 to 15 more minutes and get more progression on those items, it would feel a lot nicer. You do have two very big cores on your side. That scales pretty nicely. And for Boom, I mean, Bristol kind of scales into late, but it's really mainly the morph until you hit the ultra late, and then the puck becomes a factor as well. Still, Motivate.Trust are smoked up here.
Hookshot is going to be out. They have core one. It's going to be the Lions. So they'll get rid of a great target first and now Motivate. They definitely want to fight, but Dream Coil is there by FBZ. Makoto going to the back line, trying to get Leonak. Does get the Snapfire. We going on next. Fearless. He'll try out to hide. Meanwhile, Dream Assault does finish off Q, and Makoto going to turn right back around onto Jackie with the snowball. They get the slug, but they're going to lose Hyde in the process. Masros will also go down on the Darkseer as Makoto is forced to back out. Dream Assault, he'll keep going on to Leonak. Might be able to find a secondary kill here onto the Snapfire, and it looks like that's exactly what they'll get. Die back on Leonak, and Roshan is up. Perfect timing for Boom Esports.
Super lucky. That's a quick Roche respawn as well. So straight into the pit. Aegis, Cheese, and Ag Shard coming through. Really nice upgrades to have on hand. Probably going to look to give it towards their Bristle, of course. Maybe just for the Hairball is pretty darn nice in expanding his presence early on, and has come out. So more immediate slows, more damage coming through from Dreamosel. Second life up on Mikoto. He's up on Dreamosel. The high ground defense for Motivate.Trust, it has to be pixel perfect, as we saw in that first defense. They need to hold off. They need to get the good hook shots. If you kill off the puck before the fight even breaks out, that will give you a big advantage, although it does look like FBZ is having some issues still.
Yeah. All right, we'll give him the time to get it sorted. Rest of the Boom just looking to go to that high ground now with the Aegis up. Gonna be a very, very tough defense for Motivate. You can already see Jackie kind of sneaking up from the backside here on the Slark, but he's gonna need his teammates up to really get anything done. Fearless, he's in the triangle as well, so they can kind of loop behind Boom Esports and try to surprise them that way. So the main priority, of course, is going to be able to catch out Kescute on the line, and then, of course, Hyde on the Tusk. You want those two supports dead before you really get that fight going. As long as Kescute and Hyde are alive, it's going to be kind of impossible to deal with the cause of Boom. So if they can take these two out, maybe they can defend high ground.
Yeah, they need to kill these off first, and Boom and Kescute and Hyde are standing all the way back, so they could sort of abuse that. Again, I'm just thinking about the last fight they took on the high ground, and that was FBZ immediately dying before even the supports did. And that was also pretty darn good. So it's either the two supports or the puck to take off the Dream Coil. And you can kind of work it from there. Issue is they're really just closer towards those two supports. So we'll have to see. Just 30 seconds of pause left here for Boom. Looks like the internet issues are definitely acting up today for the Indonesian boys. It makes me remember a meme from Indonesia, Mike.
What meme is
the
that,
good
John?
old The Indie Home Packet Phoenix meme. I don't know if you're familiar. I think I've shown you that.
Oh, you've
It's
shown me that. Yeah, I know
yes,
the
yes.
one.
It's a beautiful meme. It's a beautiful meme. I'm sure our Indonesian viewers would be aware of what it is. Lovely meme. Hopefully he's not getting indie homed right now. Hopefully he
No.
fixes up.
We've got a problem. Kescute's saying the pause time should be reset because it's a new game, but I think it's per series. If I'm... Well, Makoto's asking 10 minutes for each game. Which one is it, Zex? Are we resetting? What? Which one's correct, sir?
It's well, it's he says it's correct, whichever one. So you're good. Wrong slot. Okay, he was looking at the
Alright.
wrong slot in the notebook. It's all fine.
Fair
We're all
enough,
good.
fair
here.
enough. We're good. Everyone calm down.
Mau kemana, bos?
Well, it's pronounced Mokamana. No, I can't even. Mokamana, boss? I've never...
No,
Never tried.
Manabos.
I can't make it roll off the tongue that smoothly. It just... I'm gonna have to practice that one. That voice
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do enjoy it.
Yeah. You'll hammer it in.
Yeah.
You'll hammer it in. I'm sure.
I mean,
a
I
lovely
learned quite
sound.
a bit of Filipino, John. So I guess I may as well get
Yeah.
started on the Indonesian too. You know.
Yeah.
So just learn all the
Yeah.
languages in SCA. Why the hell not?
Pretty much, right? You could try. And if you actually did know that, if I actually knew more when I was in Singapore, I could confuse so many people. Like I didn't know as much Bahasa when I was actually in Singapore. Funny enough, I knew more Indian. I knew curse words in Tamil, I knew curse words in Hindi and Bangla as well. Well, Bengali, Is it Bengali? I forget now. But yeah, I knew curse words there. I couldn't really curse in Bahasa too well. Besides, well, yeah, actually I couldn't. So I wish I did because a lot of people used to mistake me for Indonesian. People
Yeah.
used to think I was Malaysian. They used to think I was Vietnamese, Thai. Pretty much every nation except Burmese. I don't think I've ever been called Burmese. So not quite Burmese enough. I was also considered Indian. Like literally, someone actually asked me if I was actually Indian because I kept eating Indian food. Right? Like I was like, do I really look Indian? And they were like, yeah, from the Himalayan area. I was like, really? I didn't know that. Like I guess close to like close to Nepal and stuff. I guess in that area, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Probably that kind of made sense.
I think it's your accent that throws everyone off. Because even the Filipinos don't know you're Filipino until they see you, John. They don't believe it half the time. Just the
Yeah.
very American accent that you have. It really throws everyone off as to what you could be. There you go. Speaking
Yeah,
of, John,
that confuses everyone.
I was going to ask you as well. I forgot to ask you the other day, but I had my one of the shirt that I have on that I wear from yesterday
Yeah.
is the one that everyone likes to say is very Indian of me, right? With the pattern. Did they bring out that chat spam? Was that around? I wasn't checking chat last night.
No, I didn't quite see it. Didn't quite
Oh.
see it pop in, sadly enough, Mr. Mike. Don't worry. I'm sure people will get riding on the meme train at some point.
Yeah.
Did quite pop in. I think people were just really focused on those games, like
Yeah.
everyone just really wants it. I think everyone's hyped up about Dota. The majors are running, and we're here before the majors, so we're like filling in Southeast Asia before they have to stay up all night to watch those games. God, it's so hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's like
It is. It
2
is.
a.m. and you're in bed. It's like, oh, is TNC winning yet? Can I go to bed yet? And they're like, oh, I can't even. I loved it yesterday as well. You saw that Ovid was all chatting towards Gabby. Beautiful.
Well, I can't
Beautiful.
remember that. What did he say?
I think he was like malapit na yan or malapit ka na. It's
Well, I
like a
don't know.
threat, like you're
I
close,
don't know
you're
what
this
that
close.
means, John.
Yeah, it's like yeah, you're
Oh,
this
right.
close, Gabby.
Odie Pixel had the translation, right? If I remember correctly, he was the one that
I have
looked
no
it up.
clue.
He did.
I just
John,
saw the screenshot.
So you weren't even watching
Beautiful.
then.
I was asleep. It was way too
Uh,
late, man.
How is it?
You have to wake up for this.
So you're telling me, I'm from Australia. I'm 2 hours ahead of you. I'm pretty sure. So it was later in the night for me, and I'm out there supporting the Filipino boys, and you were in bed sleeping. Is that correct?
Yeah,
At
yeah.
an earlier time than
That's
me.
correct. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. That's true. Like
All the-
I don't know. The schedule is a bit weird. Like, what time was the TNC match for you? I think it was like
It wasn't that
4 or
late.
2 a.m. for me.
No, it wasn't
4
that
a.m. or
late.
2 a.m. for me. The first one wasn't that late. This was the second. Oh yeah, the first one. Yeah, no, that was the EG match. That was the first one. What was I doing? Jeez, I can't even remember what I do now, Mike.
Clearly
I
not
got
watching
short-term memory
Dota.
loss.
Yeah.
I was watching that one though. I didn't see it. What? Gosh,
How
I needed a
embarrassing.
mate to energize me, Mike.
That's a
I'm
very good
not. I
point,
don't
John.
have energy.
Well, you do need a mate, I think. I mean, you've got to have one to be able to watch the major later on, sir. Hopefully we get that delivery to you very soon. By the way, we're not doing the giveaway yet, ladies and gentlemen, but I did see the some people in the chat were asking about the giveaway. Don't worry. We're going to do it. Just relax. Probably after this game, you know, get your exclamation mark mates ready. Not yet.
Yeah.
Don't start
Not
spamming it
quite.
yet. It won't count.
I'm seeing cat explode at the indie home stuff. Sorry.
That's
Sorry,
why I was
fellas.
asking.
You know,
It's
it's
like I kind of missed the chat spam, the Modi Lakshmi Patel. I even remember my name, John. I even remember the exact
Oh, yeah.
name they were using.
yeah, it's a beautiful one. Beautiful copy paste. You know, everyone's Indian. We all know this. We're pretending we're in Southeast Asia. Secretly, this is the Indian League. And that's all it is. They've figured it out. Chat has figured out the show. And slowly but surely, the layers are peeling off, Mike.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You can't stop it.
Oh, now they're making
It started with the Team Secret too.
they're making fun of poor Zexy in the Twitch chat now because they've gotten up to the part where he said correct. Don't you worry, sexy. You ignore them. Don't you worry about the chat. You let them be, sir. You just keep being you. You're perfect the way you are.
Yep. It's all right, Zex. It's okay. You know, Zex, great guy. I think just a fun fact for viewers. Fun fact for the viewers is that most of our admins are working in different time zones, so this is actually hellishly late for a lot of them every single time. You know, that could, you know, I think Zexy needs some matemat as well. Unfortunately, he's an NA, so I don't think we can ship out to him just yet. Not quite the region for.
We'll get it sorted out, John. Make it easy. We'll get it sorted out for Zexy. What we want to really get sorted out though is this pause. Unfortunately, there we go. Zexrus, 3 minutes of pause time remaining. Hopefully, everything is fine with FBC's internet. Hate to have to 4v5 when you're this far ahead as Boom Esports in the third game of all things of the upper bracket final, but that might be a very awkward predicament they may find themselves in if he's not reconnected in 3 minutes, which would be, I mean, quite frankly, with a 13k net worth lead, it may not matter, but he is worth 13k, so you lose that puck, you lose that net worth lead, you lose another player, and you're kind of in a very disadvantageous position.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, you could maybe argue that someone micros the puck. It's way too intensive here to micro while playing a Lion and a Tusk. You know, it's not like you're playing an AA that just presses R from 1 mile off, and then you can play the other hero again afterwards. Nah.
Dreamer Soul could do it. Dreamer Soul's playing Bristlebat. He's going to press 2 buttons. He'll be alright. He can do it.
That's true. That's true. He actually could just turn his back, not give a damn, use the puck, drop Dream Coil, and go back to the Bristle after phasing back out with the orb. That's a possibility. You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
We'll let that be. They could still play 4v5, sure. Boom is up to the task. What I am disappointed, Mike, thinking back to it, remember at the start we called out double bristles? It's not happening for Mikado. He's not going for the Yags. We're not seeing the beautiful goo flying everywhere with quilt sprays on top. I just want to see it. I want to see it because TNC aren't doing it. We haven't seen them do it.
TNC
Someone's got to do it.
Jesus. Yeah, if TNT aren't doing it, then God knows who is, John. I mean, they're the guys that tend to find the most broken things with Morphling. Shout out to the TNC boys, by the way. Best of luck at the major. We're rooting for you over here in SCA in Australia.
Oh, yeah. Go far.
And T1, of course, and Execration, by the way. T1 hasn't played yet, which is very upsetting. Dreamer Soul, he's given the go-ahead. He's saying go. I'll do it. I'll micro this puck. Don't worry about it. There we go.
Jeez.
We're going. We're doing
They
it.
had a minute. They could have waited a minute.
They had a minute.
Going.
Dreamer Soul does not care. He wants to win in fashion. He wants to win in style. He is so far ahead right now. He wants to just get it done. They are going high ground. If this doesn't work, There's going to be some very angry fans of Boom Esports, but I suppose there was only 1 minute left anyway. Wasn't enough time, probably, for the reconnection. As they go high ground, there goes the T3 tower, Makoto. Gonna get to work on the range racks, but MTG now, they have the 5-hero advantage. They might be able to make this team fight work if they want to go in. Dreamercell, he's been perched up, but they aren't making the jump in yet. In fact, waveform forward, Makoto, the wall, it doesn't matter. Masaros just gets deleted. Completely removed from the game, and now it's a 4v4, but they jump in. Q is in with the hook shot onto Makoto, but he's going to be alright. Meanwhile, on the backside, Fearless has gone in onto the puck, who is still being microed apparently, and I think it was Dreamercell that was doing it. Still, they move in again onto the Ricky. There goes Fearless, down without buyback. Jackie, he's going to go on to hide. He'll clean up the tusk with the waveform forward. Makoto, look at the amount of damage he's dealing right now. He'll find a double. Jackie's the only one left. But the Cog somehow, the real MVP, it gets the Aegis. Masaros, he's bought back, but there goes Jackie. He's gone. The buyback immediately. The ultra kill for Makoto. Can we get this man a rampage? Jackie, he doesn't want to give it over. The T4 towers under siege, 5v4, Boom Esports. They're getting it done.
God.
With or without the puck, they'll get it done. Ancient exposed Jackie, he is still staring them down. And that's it, GG's called as they've spammed the voice line just one more time. GG is called. Boom Esports win 4v5 in the last 5 minutes of the game. Oh boy, the confidence to win in style like that from Boom Esports. How impressive.
Oh man, I love seeing that. You know, Boom bouncing back in really good form, taking that win with the disconnect. This is just great. Boom, you know, they were having a rough time in the upper div, and we talked about it, of course, with Dreamercell, and he was like, yeah, you know, we might face Motivate.Trust again. It's not a revenge match because nothing they do will bring them back to that point in the upper div, but they show up. They've learned from those losses. They come out the stronger team. Show us that they don't need FBZ. We don't need this guy. He's done his job. Just micro him onto Bristle. I think it was Hyde using him initially as well. And they just clean up. Motivate were too far behind to capitalize on that one hero down. And Boom understood that. Like, it takes some confidence and definitely a lot of reading of the map to know that, all right, we're going to win anyway. Let's just end this. No need to waste time. And you do it. Now, Motivate.Trust isn't out. And they did have that one win over Boom in the first game, but not quite enough. They kind of outplayed themselves in game 2 of the draft. Going for that jog didn't work out. Here they outgreeted themselves with going for Slark, Ricky, and Darkseer with no real synergy to play with the Vac Wall Kiss. Like, they only had cogs to lock people in. Not enough. And they're going to have to sort through those draft issues, but they're not out of it. They will play in the lower bracket finals. However, Boom, they're our first grand finals. They go all the way here.
Yeah, big congratulations to them again in very stylish fashion. 4v5 to get to the grand finals, and quite frankly, that should bring them a lot of confidence going to that grand finals, knowing how they had to get there without FBZ on the puck. John, do we have a winner's interview yet? Have you gotten any information?
I am going to check real quick, but I think in the downtime we can talk about some of our lovely sponsors here, Mike.
We probably could. John, go ahead. What have you got?
Yeah, of course, our first sponsor is, of course, Mate. Mate is a natural energy drink that is caffeine reimagined. Try Mate today and get more day, more night out of it. Mate is available at all 7-Elevens throughout Asia, or you can click on the banner below and head over to their website and place your order. Now, we do also have a Mate giveaway. Some of you've already been spamming it, but we've got a giveaway for the 10 minutes after this series. And you can enter it by typing !Mate in chat. There are 10 winners today, 2 cases each winner. All of Asia and Oceania are eligible for this giveaway. So join in. It's those rare giveaways that we actually get to participate in. And, you know, it's a pretty darn cool drink. It's a nice, natural, more like a chilled, fizzy tea than anything else. And it's pretty much worth a shot to try.
It's a healthy energy drink. It's based off tea. It's all natural. Highly recommended. Tastes very nice. And Well, like John said, it's open to Oceania, so Australia and New Zealand can also be part of the giveaway, and of course the whole of Southeast Asia as well. So do type it in the chat so you can be part of that giveaway, and do it right now because later on it may not matter. With that, John, no winners interview as far as I can tell. I can't see anyone.
No word back. No word back. Maybe not. It doesn't look like I'm getting word back from anyone, so that might just be it. I think Boomer probably celebrating.
Probably celebrating right now.
Yeah, like they really showed up, right? Like Motivate.Trust, you have to remember, is the team that technically knocked Boom from the. Well, no, not Motivate. It was OB Neon that knocked them out, but they. Yeah, Motivate.Trust is one of those teams at the top in the lower div, and well, they do manage to show it. Apparently, we do have one. I was just told that we do have someone incoming, so we should watch out. I believe it should be Keskute, and he is there, so we can quickly drag him in to have a word with our boy. Hello, Keskute.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Keskute. How you doing, sir? After that fantastic victory, how you feeling?
It's feeling funny, man. Yeah, we keep chatting with MVZ, how he's doing at home, and then we decide to let it go.
I'm going to ask you straight away because that was a very, very, very fantastic way to finish off the series. I'm going to ask who made the decision. Who said we're going 4v5 will win the game? Who called it out? Which one of you?
I think everyone, because we just leave the 1 minute, and if FVZ online, we will pause, and then we let Hyde playing the FVZ heroes, and then we won the fight.
Nice. Who was controlling the puck, by the way?
That's Hyde.
Hyde. Okay, Hyde. I thought it might have been Dreamer Cell because he's playing Bristleback. He has 2 buttons to press, but all right. So Hyde, very, very talented man, was getting it done. John, go
I
ahead.
think the emotion to press R, man. Q and R.
Pretty much. You guys are looking great here in the Pro Series. Grand Finals, of course, all the way in. You've got how many opponents potentially left? Let's see. You can potentially face Galaxy Racer, OB Esports, or Motivate.Trust again in the Grand Finals. Is there any team you'd rather face among those 3? Would you like a rematch with Motivate.Trust, or do you think you'd want to take a different opponent in that best of 5?
I think we want to play against Galaxy Racer since they have Indonesian. Yeah.
Cool. You want to beat in your dream?
Yeah.
Beat Mr. Streamer,
Yeah. We miss him.
Yeah, that's fair. It's actually, now that you mention it, I didn't realize there are a lot there. So yeah, and Jocam as well, right? Like there's history there, right? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. How are you guys feeling with how you're performing in Pro Series? Do you think that'll carry over into qualifiers? Those are coming up relatively soon. This is probably the last tournament before then, maybe. You guys, using this as practice for the big TI as well?
Yeah, we actually just chill at the home, everyone, and then suddenly our game is keep going good every day.
Oh.
And then I think it's good practice too for the qualifier. I hope.
So you'd say you're doing better from home instead of the team house? Like it's a lot more relaxed and loose here?
Things, maybe some of pressure is going out
That's fair.
when we're
That's
at
fair.
home.
Yeah, I got one more thing here. With the Pro Series, you guys have been part of many Pro Series throughout the last couple of years. Now, I believe you guys were in the Grand Finals once, and that was against Motivate.Trust. I think it was Pro Series number 3. Unfortunately, you guys ended up getting 3-0'd that time around. Do you guys really just want to get one of them under your belt? You just want to be a champion of the Pro Series this time around for number 6?
Of course, man. Everyone wants to be a champion.
That's it. I was wondering since like the last time, right? Because you were grand finalists at one stage and you guys were looking like the favorites back then as well, but it didn't work out. It's like you just want to get it over and done with. You want to get it under your belt that you won a Pro Series as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we keep doing good at the BTS tournament.
Oh, of course.
So maybe this tournament is mine, is ours.
That's what we want to
Yeah.
hear. That's the one. John, you got anything else before we let the man go home? Or rather, he is at
No,
home,
hopefully
but
you
let
guys
the man
could-
go.
Hopefully you get no, nothing really. I just wanted to say that in the middle of that pause, I did have to I had to throw it back to the indie home packet Phoenix. I hope you don't mind. I kind of raised that meme up, so hopefully that's fine. But congratulations, and we're looking forward to those grand finals, Kezcute.
Yo, thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
That was the lovely Kezcute joining us here today. A fantastic victory out from the side of Boom Esports, and they were grand finalists back in Pro Series number 3. That was the one I was remembering, and they were up against Motivate.Trust, and unfortunately, again, that ended up in a 3-0 against them. But this time around, they've made it back. Back then, we were talking a lot about Boom and how good they were looking, and it feels like they've gotten back to that kind of peak potential. They're looking really nice. They're coordinating well. Everyone looking very strong in the team. And they're back in the finals, right? So you kind of hope for their sake that they're able to pull off the victory this time, and they're able to say they did end up winning one of the Pro Series throughout the last couple of years. So we'll see if they can make that work. Of course, John, there is going to be another series straight after this. I believe we are in for Neon up against GXR, if I'm not incorrect.
Yeah, and that should be a lovely one to watch. Neon, of course, they were having some subbing going on for CTM for Schem
True.
to take a rest, so we'll see if that factors in today as well. But that should be an exciting one, and it shouldn't be too long, as I think we've eaten through most of our break time here. So about,
Right.
I think, on Sked, about 6 minutes from this
No.
time, it should be kicking off.
Don't
Right,
tell
like-
them. Don't tell them
All
the
right.
time.
An
Because then-
undisclosed amount of time. An undisclosed amount of time,
It's
but
too
not
late
too
now.
long. There you go. I'm sorry.
Now my timer has to be accurate. Thank you for that, John. With that, it is MLPDotA and johnxfire. We'll be right back with our final series of the night between OB Neon and Galaxy Racer. See you very soon.